Mobile sports betting is finally legal here in the state of Ohio. BetQL is here to help you make the most informed bets possible. See all of today's winners by heading to BetQL.com or by downloading the BetQL app. Claim your free 3-day trial today. Head to BetQL.com/news/923 The Fan for those exclusive sportsbook offers.
He's Daryl Ruiter. I'm Andy Baskin. This is It's Always Game Day in Cleveland. You can always follow us on Instagram and Twitter at GameDayCLE. We love having you watch on YouTube, too. You can watch me fidget while I'm listening to everything Daryl says. Daryl sits so nice.
Or me make goofy faces at you. So,
well, that's true, too. But I see you. Daryl's much more calm while he's doing the show. I get restless. Like, I can't sit very long, and I got to, get up. I wish I could move around while we're doing the podcast.
Did you just say I'm calm?
You are calm. When I watch your camera presence is calm. You know why my camera presence is crazy?
How long have you known me? When have I
20 years?
When have I ever been calm?
Yeah, but your camera presence is calm. Like you're very me, I'm up always all over the place when you think, and I'm scratching and I'm just like doing all kinds of weird stuff with my mic. I rest my face on my mic. I do all kinds of stuff.
Where is Andy Baskin today in the world of where is Andy Baskin for the It's Always Game Day in Cleveland podcast?
Well, I am in the beautiful Halley building located downtown Cleveland, also the home of our Odyssey stations. I am right next to, 102, Q104 is across the hall.
You're in I know where you are. Yeah. You're in the Browns Radio Network studio.
I am also in the Browns Radio Network studio. There you go. Where the world famous Jen and Tim do their show on the other side of this wall. If you're watching on YouTube, congratulations. It's on the other side of that glass. For some reason,
it's been blocked off.
Yeah, the blinds are closed, so I don't know what's going on in there, but I'm telling you, it's none of my business.
Whatever it is, it's a party that you are not invited to.
That is true. And then WNCX is down the hall. So there you have it, your tour, your great tour of the Odyssey stations here in Northeast Ohio. Daryl, a couple of things I wanted to get at, too, as we continue to talk about the Browns. And do you think they need to go out and get a quarterback, or can PJ Walker play?
No, I think they may need to go get a veteran quarterback. And here's the thing, too. Again, I hesitate to be hard on DTR because I just don't think it's fair. But also at the same time, what I learned Sunday is he's not ready. He's incapable of doing the job right now. And and as a result, he should not be put in the position to do that job right now. He's the number 3 quarterback right now. He's not a number 2. That's not acceptable for a backup quarterback performance. I can't have a guy that can't throw for 125 yards and he's throwing 3 interceptions. I mean, the game ended perfectly. It ended on an interception.
Right.
It's not. I'm not criticizing him. I can't stress that enough. I'm not criticizing him because the organization failed him. They put him in a position that he's not qualified for and that he's not ready for yet. And that was so evident. And again, that's why I asked Andrew Berry, because here's the other thing. Deshaun Watson takes on so much contact, and this organization never can get through a season with a starting quarterback start to finish. So the backup quarterback is critically important to the Cleveland Browns. And you went with an inexperienced rookie, had to put him on the field, and got your ass handed to you by your division rival, by the team that you're trying to be like, the team that you're trying to pass in the division. You were completely non-competitive in that game. That's unacceptable. This is a team that's supposed to be a playoff contender. I guess maybe I shouldn't say a Super Bowl contender. Maybe that's unfair for an expectation level. But for a playoff contender, that performance Sunday afternoon was completely unacceptable. And if DTR can't play to a standard, he can't be your backup quarterback. And it is my opinion that he is incapable right now of playing to that standard, which is why I asked Andrew Berry what I did. And he basically disagreed with me and said that we believe in DTR, we support him. He will be the first to tell you that he didn't play well, et cetera, et cetera. And I respect that. But at the same time, dude, trust your eyes, trust the film. He is not ready. Okay. And I get it. You couldn't get him to the practice squad. You had to put him on the roster. Fine. All that stuff is valid. But the proof is in the performance. The Baltimore Ravens are the standard. I think we can agree with that, right, Andy?
No, I agree. In the AFC North, they are the team to beat. There's no question about that.
And he lost by 25 points. You were lucky to, and the only 3 points you scored, you were lucky to get came off a 53-yard field goal. So he basically got shut out.
So let me bring this point up because I think there's a series of events that you can inherently believe based on what we just had going on over the weekend. One, Deshaun Watson thought the Browns had a better chance of winning with DTR than him on Sunday. And the team seemed to reiterate that too with Andrew Berry's comments today. Now, my next question then is, if they thought PJ Walker would be a suitable backup, why did they put him back on the practice squad immediately following the game? Is that just a roster game or what?
So what it is he was on the practice squad.
Correct. They had to elevate him.
He was a game day elevation, standard elevation, which means as soon as the game is over, he automatically reverts back to the practice squad. What you have to do, hang on, let me explain the
only because he's the quarterback under the new rule. Is that why, or no? It doesn't matter. Okay,
I'm trying to explain the procedure to you. Okay,
I'm listening, bro. Go.
So and that is whether he's a quarterback, linebacker, whatever, kicker, whatever. Game day elevations for practice squads automatically revert back to the practice squad once the game is over. To get him to the 53-man roster, you have to then sign the player. Again, regardless of independent of position, there's no special rules for the quarterback, with the exception of the third quarterback on the 53-man roster being your emergency QB. Okay. But when you talk about practice squad, there's no separate rules for the quarterback on practice squads. So what they would have to do is they would have to release a player from the 53 and sign PJ Walker to the 53-man roster. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so PJ Walker is not on the 53-man roster,
right,
but he was the backup quarterback on Sunday because of his elevation off of the practice squad, which is a
it's
a deviation of the regular. Yeah,
it's a new mechanism that they put in recent years. I think it started with the pandemic, and they liked it so much they kept it, and I like the rule too. So you can be able to bring in guys on your practice squad, have them available for a game without having to release players to make room to sign guys on the 53-man roster.
So let me fire this at you, right? He is on the practice squad now. That means what? When you're playing for the practice squad, you can be what?
Well, you're the scout team quarterback, basically.
Can you be picked up by any other team when you're on the practice squad?
Well, if you are signed to the active roster, you can, yes.
Oh, yes. Only if you're.
So the rule is okay. So Andrew Berry can be looking at practice squads across the league, right? Let's say he wants to add a running back, right?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yep.
You follow me?
Yeah. If another team wants him, they have to sign him to their active roster.
Correct. That's the rule. And they have to be on the active roster, I believe, for 3 weeks. Like you can't just sign him and then cut him, type thing. Like that keeps you from poaching players. And also too, it's a competitive thing. So like. Bill Belichick, like with the Patriots, because he's the king of, bending the rules. Bill Belichick, let's say Bill Belichick's playing the Steelers this week. So what he's going to do is he's going to sign 2 guys off the Steelers practice squad for this week's game, suck all the information of what Pittsburgh's doing out of them. And then as soon as the game's over, he's going to cut them. No, That's not how it works. And again, you can poach from practice squads, but to poach, you have to be signing those players to your active 53-man roster. So why don't you put DTR on the practice squad? Because you risk him being poached by another team to their active 53s. Like for instance,
let me put that in PJ Walker's perspective.
Well,
go ahead, finish your point.
Arizona Cardinals, right? They would be a prime candidate to poach DTR. Maybe the Houston Texans. One of these bottom feeding teams that want to take a look at a nice young quarterback. So that's why you don't have DTR on your practice squad, because he's got the talent. Okay. Don't misunderstand what I was saying earlier. I believe in DTR. I think he's got talent. He's just not ready yet. Right? Cake ain't coming out of the oven yet. It's still baking. So that is why he has to stay on that active 53, because someone will come in and take him.
But if somebody wanted to, they could come in and take PJ Walker now.
That is correct. Yes.
And then you wouldn't have another quarterback. You'd only have 2.
But as you see, no one's rushing to come sign PJ Walker.
No, I get it. Unless they really wanted to put the screws to the Browns, right? And they wanted to put him. But I mean, you're messing your own team up by because you'd have to put them on the.
But here's the thing: like they're not really putting the screws to the Browns because Andrew Berry would just go out and sign another quarterback to the practice squad. You said
that's equal to PJ Walker. What I'm saying is,
well, you guys brought up on the midday show that they should go out and sign Carson Wentz.
We're not the only ones saying that.
By the way, I fell out of my chair when you said that too.
Yeah, and did you crack your skull open or no? What happened?
No, but I did bruise my tailbone.
Do you think they would have had a better chance with DTR or Carson Wentz on Sunday?
I don't know.
Say it, Daryl. They would have had a better chance with Carson Wentz. They would have.
I don't know. I've seen some of Carson Wentz's recent games. I don't know I don't know that that's true.
And fans would have been screaming Wentz. The way they did DTR.
I'm reminded of what I always say. Former GMs have told me all the time about players being available. Daryl, there's a reason a guy's available. The question is not why are they available. It's whether or not you can accept the reason for why they're available.
Good point. He's Daryl Ruiter. I'm Andy Baskin. It's always game day in Cleveland. Art, we got to get you ready. I mean, ready for the bye week. What are you doing for the bye week? Unanswered questions about the Browns next on It's Always Game Day in Cleveland.